Boop,
The
boop.
button has been pressed.
Yay!
Alfred Hopton.
You're back. I'm so happy.
I love that. Second appearance, right?
Yeah.
Not third. Couldn't remember if it was the second or third. Two, he says, and you do too. Hello, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
Hello there, Alfred Hopton.
Hi.
And hello there, everybody at home.
Hi, guys.
Let's see, what do we got here? Today is Thursday, August 9th, 2018. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans. And hello, welcome, good evening. We've got some fun stuff today, Mrs. Ryan.
Tell me everything.
I've got cards galore.
There's
We've got
tons
stuff.
of cards.
Just get situated as usual, which is what we do.
Yeah. Grab my coffee.
I know. All right, what do we got going on today? We have got, Alfred Hopton is here, but we've got a bunch of East Coast feeds. So Steve Kaz, you mentioned yesterday it was his daughter Coraline's second birthday. Another happy birthday to Coraline. He sent a whole mess of East Coast feeds. I guess there was a backlog. I don't know if it was a Dropbox issue or what. You notice we haven't been checking in all week. I don't know if he's been sending them and whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. And they're all from throughout, starting August 1st.
Cool.
So that's kind of the thing. So I think maybe we'll just intersperse. So maybe the first East Coast feed with Steve Kaz.
Yippee.
We'll just roll that now. Roll it out. See where he is here. I think this is August 1st. Sorry, roll it, Hal.
Good morning, Mr. Ryan and Mrs. Ryan. East Coast feed here with Steve Kaz, coming to you live from the gym. It is 6 a.m. It's time to get the workout on. You know what today is? August 1st. What does that mean, you say? It's my birthday month. Just get ready. The videos will be plentiful this month.
Because it's my birthday month, so the videos will be plentiful this month.
I can't wait.
I know.
He's hilarious.
I know. All right, so we'll check in again with him in a second.
Okay.
Let's see. How are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
I'm feeling better.
Yeah. You're on your feet a little better today.
Oh, yeah. It's neat that you notice it.
Less teetering.
Yeah.
You teeter a lot and you bang into things, and I'm trying to decide whether we should be padding the walls or my wife.
The answer to all of it is no. If I recoup my energy, I tend to not wobble as much, so I've been recouping my energy, and I can control my legs a little better.
If there's a way to maintain that, I mean, that seems to be the secret. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that at least you are having a good day every day, right?
Yeah.
Every day is a battle to be won.
Every day is a battle.
No, I'm glad you do it with a smile on your face. It's tough. It's tough. I know we say it all the time, but it is. It's tough.
I do. I'm writing about. I gotta figure out how to write, but I've been focusing on that. That's helped too. So
you're working with Daria, right? We've had a guest on here, Daria, a few times. 222.
A little bit. She's been traveling and stuff, so it's not as consistent as I need, but it's helped me kickstart a lot of it. So.
It's just nice sometimes just to have another brain to bounce stuff off of, or somebody to be like, "Hey, get off your butt, do this today," even though you don't want to.
That's what I need, and she's in the first camp of supportive and wants to hear stories, and so I think as we grow that relationship, more of that get your shit together.
That's awesome.
Happen. I'm stoked.
I'm glad. I like how Alfred's like, I'm going to turn my phone on silent, yet I can hear it ringing from here. No worries, Alfred. You can take that. Let's see. Update on Late Show 25. No official update. I mean, the update is haven't heard anything. But as discussed yesterday, so let everybody know what we're talking about. Let's play the clip. We are talking about this clip from the Late Show with David Letterman back in the 90s. Roll it.
Once you get her started, by God, there's no stopping her. I've noticed two problems with the new set.
What?
Well, one, this microphone is higher than it needs to be.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well, it's because the other microphone, the one that's been on the desk for 2.5 years here and 13.5 years at NBC, last night that was stolen.
You're kidding.
No, that was stolen. So we had to replace it with this other new, and it occurs to me that we stole that microphone from NBC. So, you know, and the other thing is there's no window here now, so when I do this, what do we get? See? We used to have some kind of satisfying sound effect that... I don't know. Some things to work out. We'll have some meetings and we'll take care of those.
Sorry, Alfred. I'm glad you could see it. So that clip, and then the follow-up, of course, would be that we are trying to get Dave here so that we can tell him. We think we have the story behind the. We know we have the story behind what happened, and perhaps more importantly, the actual microphone. That was actually David Letterman's microphone stolen from his desk. Now, here's the interesting thing that I think maybe other people don't necessarily realize. It was stolen. I don't know if it was stolen off of this desk. Because, but this is the last
set it was with.
Yeah. So we have the desk and chairs, and we have access to the real microphone. This is not it. We do not have the real microphone on the desk here, folks. This is a replica. I say that every time. I feel the need to, obviously. But the goal is to get Dave here to give him back the microphone. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it on the desk. I don't know. But the goal is to tell him the story and all of that stuff. So, as discussed yesterday on the show, the sound effects guy, the clunk guy from that video, and I believe from the entire run of the show, also one of the audio guys who had to deal with the microphone situation, is local, and I've reached out to him and invited him to be on the show to tell us the story, what happened, it went missing, whatever, to hopefully be here and enjoy the old set and the old stuff and the whole thing. And then, fingers crossed that all of this is legit, authenticate the microphone to there and, hopefully solidify even further that we can give this thing back to Dave.
That history. Because even in that clip, he's like, yeah, I was at NBC for 13 years before I had it.
And I, doing a lot of research on this over the years, I've got tremendous amount of backstory from people at NBC who actually even got that microphone for Dave. It was Dave who requested it in the first place after the first year on the air, at late night in the old days.
Really?
The old square desk, the old original days. After the first year, they got their pickup, and he requested it, according to my friends at Conan, who used to work at
heart. He has that broadcast history and love and appreciation.
I think it's all of that too. And all of us who are weirdos who do this, it's like, whether you celebrate Letterman or not, you've got that same, we like all the equipment and all the gear and the lights and the microphones and the on-air sign. And I can't tell you what or why, because I think it's weird myself, but it's in there. I had to have all this stuff if I was going to do this.
Watching people come in here and gravitate to the things that are such a big deal in your world and that you've spent so much time focusing on, it's crazy to watch. It is so cool. Because it shows how deep it goes. Like when I put out yesterday's episode with Curry, who you never know who's going to be a talk show nerd.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it from him.
No way. And he was
reading every Mike Douglas book and everything.
Amazing. So to see him gravitate to the pieces that you point out to me is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for saying that. It was really neat talking to him for all of those reasons. Okay. And Alfred Hopton is an appreciator for all of the same things as well. So let us do another East Coast feed, and then we'll get what's going on, and then we'll get him in here. Okay,
cool.
All right, one more East Coast feed. Let's check in with Steve Kaz and see where he is now. Roll it, Hal.
East Coast feed coming to you live from Yorktown, New York. Megan Kaz, Nick, Al. We're Irish Festival. Can you hear me? It's an Irish Festival. We got mom and dad back here. Look at that. The whole family's here. East Coast feeding on a Friday night for an Irish Festival. Because I'm Italian. I'm
obviously not. That's a lie, I am.
Oh, that's right. Megan actually is Italian, my bad. Newly Italian. Ancestry.com. Word.
Oh my gosh.
I still don't get that shirt. He wore it one time when I was around him, and his whole thing was like, no, but I'm Italian. And I'm like, it's a Kiss Me, I'm Irish shirt.
But it should be green.
Yeah, for the Irish thing, so I don't get it.
He's not Irish, he's Italian. But he's leaning on colorblind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's way funnier.
No, it's miscommunication. His shirt says one thing that combats the whatever that is going on. He then says, "I'm Italian." He just adds it. I don't know that it's actually related.
That is why I adore him.
All right, Mrs. Ryan. I think, well, we've got 3 more. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's do one more just to see where he is. Because I think this is a different location now. Let's check in one more time. Steve Kaz, East Coast Feed. Roll it out.
The East Coast feed. She doesn't know about the East Coast feed. East Coast feed. I'm enlightening you. You're going to be on YouTube and be famous shortly. Say hello to Mr. Ryan, Mrs. Ryan.
How you doing, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Ryan?
Boys and girls, we are back in Coney Island. We are with the 7-line Army going to Brooklyn Cyclones game. Since you need to know what's going on in Brooklyn today, this is where it is. This is part 1. There'll be a few, because you know we'll have to videotape inside the stadium and stuff like that. But this is where we're at today, enjoying a couple of beers on the beach. Love you guys. Love you.
And there you have it. Oh,
Is that guy in the middle his brother, Mikey?
Yeah, the one who was just stoically standing there like the bouncer of the whole thing. He's and I want to mention, we say it every time, but he is a firefighter in Ridgefield, Connecticut, volunteer firefighter, and he runs the programs at the Wilton YMCA, which is across the street from the high school where my whole little talk show thing started.
I forget that part a lot. He's just the.
Oh, he does all sorts of things. He's so busy. I totally agree. There's another one, I think, from the same place, so we'll see. Okay. Do that, and I would like to ask you a question, Mrs. Ryan. Do you have any? Oh, shit! I pushed the button too soon. Luckily, you didn't hear it. Alfred. Mrs. Ryan, there's a question people have been asking me, well, they want me to relay it to you, and I'm going to do so now. Mrs. Ryan, that question is, what's going on?
Well, I have an answer for you. Do you know anything about D.B. Cooper? Who that is?
Yeah, I mean, it's a name from the heist, from the,
Okay, well, I didn't know about this, but apparently a fellow Army vet of his, apparently tracked him down, and the FBI was like, we're good. We're not investigating this anymore. But he's like Don Draper.
There have been I don't know. This is like Jimmy Hoffa over the years. I don't know how many times this has come up with we've solved the case. We know what happened. Oh. We know who he is. I mean, even a couple months ago, there was another one where, he's fine, and he's living in Wichita, and blah, blah, blah. And there's some where the government's relocated him, and I mean, it's like the Weekly World News, Bigfoot and everything else. I
guess so. Well, I'm gullible, and I was totally roped in, and I don't recall having heard the story of the guy that hijacked a plane in '71 and then parachuted off of it with $200,000 of ransom money
and escaped and made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly.
That's the story I read.
Right, but there are all sorts of other, also different theories where, or he was killed and they took the money. I mean, all sorts of other ones.
Oh.
Or he didn't make it at all, and or the bag is still hanging from a tree and wherever the fuck.
Well, I'd like to go on record and say someone needs to make that a movie, and that's awesome. It sounds like The Fugitive to me.
Yeah, I think once there's a resolution, maybe.
Oh,
they made a movie. What's the movie?
I think it's called The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, but I think it starred Jason Robards.
Oh, so it's an old one, but I love Jason Robards.
There was an '81 movie with Robert Duvall in it.
There's one.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's fascinated.
It's a heck of a story. I will say this. When you first said, do I know who it is? I almost said, yeah, of course. Topic. Yeah. Because I thought you were D.B. Sweeney.
I thought that when I read it at first, too.
D.B. Sweeney, of course.
I love that movie. Anyway, well, I guess that's not new.
No, that's great, though.
I found
it's a neat story. I hope that this one probably is new.
Sure. I just like that they made a Don Draper reference, and I just did yesterday.
Oh, I thought you did. They said that?
They did in the article.
That's funny.
So that's that one. Silicon gangsters persuaded people to have their limbs smashed in an insurance scam.
Like break your bone and go to the... How do you get money for that?
They would find old cars that were damaged and throw these broken people in the cars and be like, I got into a car accident, and they'd get money from the insurance company.
Oh, oh my God. Way more involved than I was thinking. Holy cow. They'd put a broken person in a broken car and say that they were in an accident, even though there may not have been an accident. So then they'd go collect from the auto insurance.
Yeah. Italy.
He's writing it down.
Heads up. Heads up. Whiz. I almost didn't. It's so weird, that one.
Yeah. The stuff you spread, man.
Yeah. All right. I'll spread better truths after today.
Whatever you want.
I like these stories. I think I'm in movie heist mindset. I think the D.B. Cooper one got me there.
I see.
Make a movie about gangsters. By the end of the century...
Good for you staying focused.
I'm getting there, man. That's a bonus. By the end of the century, the ocean is predicted to be 2.5 times more acidic. Which I only say because, it's weird and whatever.
The end of the century?
I feel like it'll be way sooner with the red tide things freaking me out. Just be careful what you eat from the ocean. That's that one.
You're perpetuating so much fear with the things that you do. Do you know that? All of your stories are like, I'm going to perpetuate all these fear-based stories that I do not believe are, I mean. Here's
the deal. Yeah, I will be more conscientious.
You're like, so everybody be careful of fish.
I was trying to put a positive spin on something that sounded kind of dumb, but.
Oh, okay.
I'll revisit that and maybe not do that story. But similarly, oceanography, there's an Illinois-based company that trademarked the term aloha poke.
That's not right.
And so
what could they possibly have or do?
They sell poke in Alaska that they call aloha poke. And they went after a Hawaiian company, which, that's crazy.
I have so many issues, sure.
Yeah. Whatever.
I mean, I don't know. We talk about cultural appropriation with, wardrobe and things like that. How about just, everything? Language.
That's where I got
fundamentals.
It's aloha. But the last
we stand with Hawaii on that one.
Hawaii, all the way.
Aloha. Aloha nui loa.
Aloha. And the last one. There's
Drum
going to be a McGold card for McDonald's.
I'm over. Jesus Christ. Are you shitting me?
No, it's sweepstakes starts tomorrow.
A sweep? Oh, there's going to be one gold card?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like a gold credit card for McDonald's or a gold, a McBucks card or something like that.
I thought so too, which is why I started reading it. But this sounds like a sweepstakes, like the McDonald's Monopoly thing.
Sure, yeah.
That they're making.
Well, they got to have something because that cop stole all the money, and then Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are making a movie about it.
Yeah, so I thought this would be a nice add-on to that movie.
What is it?
It's basically, there's a sweepstakes to get a card that gives you free McDonald's for life.
Oh.
If you have the card.
Or as long as they're in business.
Yeah. They think they're going to be around forever.
You know something we know? You think McDonald's is going down the tubes?
It's not doing as well as it once did, Alfred.
I still have my Big Macs there every day.
Do you notice any difference? They've changed some of their things. They've changed some of their stuff.
Coffee.
Oh, is their coffee different? There was an article the other day about someone who was poisoned because they got cleaning fluid in their coffee because all of their coffee machines are hooked up to a constant cleaning fluid to make it, ease of use because everything's 24 hours. Same thing with the shake machines and all that stuff. So that's why they're down sometimes. Anyway, there was a whole thing with this woman had. That was a truth sneeze.
Didn't Ackroyd use the Bassomatic to make something that's also a floor polisher? Am I wrong on that?
I don't know, but I'll talk Ackroyd any day of the week. Isn't he the best?
Bassomatic, I thought also was used for polished floors. I don't know.
The Bassomatic. Oh, you mean the actual product?
Yeah,
Oh, probably.
You put what was in the Bassomatic, then it's also a tile cleaner.
But it wasn't. There was Bassomatic was not a real product, right? This was all just a Saturday Night Live. Apples and watermelons. So that's it, Mrs. Ryan. So that's been What's Going On.
That's me.
All right. Are you ready for a break?
Yeah.
I'm ready for a break too. And then we'll have Alfred Hopton in here, and then it's going to get fucking nuts because this guy knows how to talk.
Yeah.
He's getting pumped as we speak.
Getting ready to go.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Alfred Hopton will be here. More to come.
Don't go waiting for the moon. It'll only make you blue. And one day it will be yours. A little time is all it costs. And I'll be there if you get lost. Don't worry, it's a good life, baby. Don't rush, the time's on your side. Tomorrow you're gonna feel alright. So kick back, enjoy the ride. And when the sea is calm and you got the whole world in your palm, when you have everything you'll ever need, I just hope that you remember me. Don't worry, it's a good life, baby. Don't rush, the time's on your side. Tomorrow you're gonna feel alright. So kick back, enjoy the ride. Oh yeah, kick back, enjoy the ride. And if you don't want me here, I guess I have to walk away. And then another 1,000 years, we might meet again someday, with different faces, different names, but I love you just the same. Oh yeah, don't worry, it's a good life, baby. Don't rush, the time's on your side. You're closer than you realize. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Don't worry, it's a good life, baby. Don't rush, the time's on your side. Tomorrow you're gonna feel alright. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Be right there, I'll be right there by your side, yeah. So kick back, enjoy the ride. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Oh yeah, kick back, enjoy the ride. It's a good life, baby. Kick back, enjoy the ride. You better let it slide now. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Don't worry about tomorrow. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Don't you worry, don't you worry. Oh yeah, kick on back. Don't you worry, no, no, no.
The documentary.
I want to hear this story, so I brought us back. We're back. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Oh, we were talking about the trailer for Jerry Seinfeld's documentary Comedian, and it's the legendary. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I know. I liked it too.
The legendary guy that does a lot of the movie voiceovers, and it's
long since passed away.
Yeah,
but they've made a movie about him.
Yeah. And so the trailer is just him trying to do a trailer about the documentary.
But the producer's like, stop. No, try it again.
Yeah.
No, do it again.
Yeah.
In a world, in a place, in a land.
Oh,
He's
that's
trying to
funny.
do that, and they're just like, no. He's like,
part of town.
a guy.
Man.
2 guys.
2 men. A lot of them.
Well, Lake Bell made a movie about that guy.
Called?
I think, In a World.
In a world.
So
She
it's
directed
great.
that, right? Wrote and directed
Yeah,
it.
wrote and directed it.
Quite good.
It's really good. She plays the daughter of a voiceover guy that becomes a voiceover actor.
All right, we are back. Alfred Hopton is here. You're back because you have been here before.
It's my second visit. I went if after 5 I get a jacket, right?
I think so. Yeah, we're going to work on that. We're going to
Last
get those
time
made
I was
up.
in a suit, I felt more inclined to go casual with my Greta Van Fleet T-shirt.
You are
Good job.
representing the new Van Halen, the new Led Zeppelin.
I always skew a young demo. I think we talked about that earlier. And so this band is a bunch of young men now from Michigan.
4 in the band,
3
right?
brothers, 1 drummer, and they legitimately are the second coming of Zeppelin.
Wow.
I mean,
It's big. It's a big
I
statement.
wouldn't throw that out. Like I've never called anyone the second coming of Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what I mean? I've never said, "Oh no, that's the second coming of Kiss." Nope.
If there was a second coming of Stevie Ray Vaughan, would you have one?
I would pray for a second.
No. I'm sorry. Of course, we would all have one. What's the closest thing out there?
Currently, there's very few guitar gods out there that people go see that's just a guitar god. I mean,
well, I have a hard time with this because, and this may be like the diehard thing, and the reason I was asking is I find that there are some people who are too popular to be taken seriously as incredibly good musicians, yet there are a ton out there, such as...
Seagal.
He's one of the best. No. John Mayer is who comes to
I
mind
agree.
for
John
me,
Mayer's
and John
incredible.
Mayer is
Oh,
one
I
of those
agree.
people who he gets sort of discounted
Completely.
because he's kind of poppy with some of his stuff when he, at least back in the old days.
And
Whereas the
beautiful.
talent behind that guy's music, songwriting, and his
Agreed.
physical guitar ability
100% agree.
is incredible to me.
What's the band? He's
The Dead. If he wouldn't,
We saw him with Dead and Company. Yeah.
Dead and Company.
If he
Have
wasn't
you
as good
seen
as he
them?
was- I've seen Bob Weir and Rat Dog, which was close enough.
Dead and Company is
probably all similar.
fantastic to see too.
Yeah. And he wouldn't be playing with them if he wasn't worth a damn.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
So do you find that with other people as well? And that's kind of why I was asking. Like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe there's one of those guys just in there, out there.
No, rarely. The funny thing about what happened, so I was talking to a guy about how much I love Greta Van Fleet, and he was from Toronto. And he told me about this band from Canada called the Sheepdogs. And I'd never heard of them before. And so I just went, okay, cool. You know what? I'm going to take your recommendation. I pull up iTunes and I just buy an album from 2011. And I have bought every album of theirs since.
No kidding.
The thing about these guys is they're from Saskatchewan. They're not like Vancouver, Toronto. They're not big city. They're, I would call, and maybe I'm wrong, Saskatchewan would be the Mississippi of Canada.
It's a good way to put it.
And I'm from Mississippi, so that's no slight on anyone. And it's really, when you listen to them, you'll hear a song that go, wow, that sounds like an Eagle song. And then you'll hear one go, wow, that sounds like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And then one that sounds like the Dead. And you start hearing that
Influences.
Yeah.
Who are they again?
The Sheepdogs. Rolling Stone put them on their cover like in 2014, and you know, I don't know if they haven't really blown up here or not, but I bought all their albums. So, yeah.
Blown up.
Well, what about Greta Van Fleet? Because you were talking about that a little bit before the show in the green room.
And y'all, I gotta
Ford
say,
Theater here, right around the corner.
Speaking of your green room, I have to say it's much better than Jimmy Kimmel's. Like Jimmy has let his green room go to shit. Like, first of all, it's all Call vodka in the back, and they don't serve Jack Daniels. It's Jim Beam, and you can't blaze a J back there like you could here. Like
you could if you wanted to.
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like that. That's the thing. Like they get real uppity about smoking over at the green room.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I was going to say, you're perpetuating some stuff here, because there probably is a few people who watch both.
Well, I'm just saying, look, if we can get like a talk show rivalry going between the Ryans and the Kimmels,
Yeah, that'll be a close race,
you up.
Yeah.
for sure.
Brings you guys up in the ratings.
Well, let's do that for sure. Yeah.
Like I'm saying, let me talk shit
To my
about-
friends at Kimmel, let's get this going.
Yeah. Let's talk
Dear
shit about
Diane.
Kimmel's green room.
We have friends at the Late Late Show as well. Let's start something with them as well, because
Rob
this is
Crab.
a legitimate competition, of course, we all know.
Their steak tartare in the green room at Kimmel, it's a little too warm. I like my steak tartare with a nice little
That's the thing, we chill it because it's
Yes.
separate. You know, they
Yes.
bring it in separate.
But that's the thing, you guys really take care of your guests.
Show the love.
Welcome back to the Writers' Room.
So, Greta
tell
Van
me-
Fleet,
yeah, there you
saw
go.
them at the Ford. They played Coachella. They did both weekends, and they were doing two shows in LA the weekend, but the Monday and Tuesday between. The Tuesday show got canceled, so they rescheduled it. And it was like about a month and a half ago, and I went, and it was the greatest rock show
Oh, this
I've
is
seen.
recent.
Yeah.
I thought this was when you were getting into them.
No, it was now, right about now. Greta Van Fleet, all over. They just did Fallon.
No kidding.
No, I'm not into obscurity.
That's the Tonight Show.
That is. We don't want to start a beef with that.
I was gonna really. That's the one to do, I think. 'Cause
That's
it's,
the one.
well, because it's so confusing.
They would have the
it's
most
Tonight
fun, I
Show, the
think.
Tonight
Yeah, but
Show. I
if-
mean, you can get lost in the Google.
Yeah, but they're in New York. I don't want to I think if you can vanquish what Kimmel's doing, then we go after Corden. Then we pretty much the only place guests of my quality get booked are your show.
Oh,
You know
I
what
see.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you guys are too nice, and maybe that's y'all's problem. The Ryans are too nice. You're not really like targeting your competition.
No.
Oh man.
No.
You gotta.
No
Because
targeting.
there is no competition for putting out
Yeah.
positivity. You know what I mean? Like, there's no competition.
Right. But you got to get the stories and the trades about what's going on at the other shows from what. I'll tell you what I saw.
I was going to say, this is all the stuff you guys know how to do.
I've got
I don't know
stuff
how to
on
do
Corden
any of that.
would curl your toes.
Oh
I've never seen the show. That's a joke.
I was going to say, his show is like this, I would say, in that he is always pushing positivity, and he's such a happy, he's a good force out there.
I met
So
him when
is-
they first started. He was the nicest and so sweet, and came over and like made it a point to say hi to me.
Just
Which
like
is,
Joan Crawford when she got to town, and we know how that turned out.
Wow.
Just like,
Look at
you
you.
can't be fooled by the sincerity that sheens on the outside. You have to dig deeper.
Are you one of the types of people who just likes pushing all the buttons and then seeing what garners a reaction? Like,
no.
I'm going to push their button, I'm going
Yes.
to push there, and then see who reacts? Is that what?
I also know when you tag this on YouTube, the more references we make to higher big trafficking things on YouTube.
I see what you're doing.
God, it's all about social media
That's
numbers
so
here.
funny. See, I don't know how any of that stuff works. All those that's marketing, and I'm not that brain.
It's all
I mean,
ball bearings these days.
Everything's ball bearings these days. Wait, 220, 221, whatever it takes. Holy cow.
All right. So Greta, they were at the.
Here's the thing. Can I show you your card?
Yes.
Because you have been here before. I'm going to show everybody your card.
Okay.
I'm going to show everybody else first, actually.
Okay. It's on file.
Yeah. No. There's a new card for
there's a
today,
key.
but this is based on your appearance last time.
Should I? Is this like
It's up to you. I'm just showing the folks at home
$10,000
first.
pyramid? Like I don't need to look, and then we're gonna guess the topic.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if this will even work. No, that's not going to work. It says, "What's new?" And thanks for coming.
Just let it roll. Okay, good. No, but you didn't put out the one topic I really wanted to get to today, and I even sent you an advanced image to prove part of my case.
Yes. Die Hard.
Die Hard, not a Christmas movie.
I have some thoughts on this,
You may gladly take the other side because I have taken the other side from all comers, and
Do you see how prepared you are for a fight when I'm not trying to offer one?
Well, no, but we want to make it interesting for the viewers. We have to have a conversation here, or
I would like to, but I would like to tell you, it is my opinion that we have to discern what constitutes a Christmas movie.
Okay,
because
again,
I believe
yes.
that the topography on this subject has changed in the last, call it 10 years.
Okay.
Certainly 15, but I would say drastically in the last 10.
Okay.
But what led me to actually spend time thinking about this was your constant belief and insinuation to everybody in every situation that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Yeah, I'm sure if you see a T-shirt or something like that, you'll be like, not a Christmas movie.
Exactly. I will.
So I think we have to decide what makes a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Was the intention of that movie to, what is it, the Christmas spirit? Is it goodness and things like that?
Sure. Let's set one standard.
Well, how about this? Do we set it for today or for 1980 whatever when the movie came out?
Good question.
Well, considering when the movie came out in 1988, it was released in July. I ask you, what?
Not a Christmas movie, right? Of course.
So by that standard, no. By today's standards, still no.
Do we know the story behind when it was intended to be released? Because
No.
I heard, and now I don't know this is true, but somebody gave me the argument that it was intended to be a Christmas release, but it was such a good movie that they saw it as being a summer blockbuster, so they shelved it. I do not have any
I'd like
proof
to
to
see that in
substantiate
print
this.
somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. It could be a very handy excuse, but it did lead some credence
Yep.
to what do we know?
I will accept that as a possibility. I do know the fact that because Sybil got pregnant during the taping of Moonlighting, they had to go on a 2-month hiatus, which allowed Bruce to shoot it on the lot at Fox
At the same time,
Boom.
quickly.
So he was not without work, and then that pretty much turned him into the international sensation.
Did you used to like Moonlighting?
A worship.
I loved Moonlighting. It was so great.
The Shakespeare episode that they did in iambic pentameter.
It's been a long time. I mean, I watched it when it was on, and I haven't seen it since. But I loved it when it was
My
on.
favorite was the one where Whoopi Goldberg and Judd Nelson were were guests on the show.
This sounds like the end when they added Booger and everything, right?
No, it was a one-off. It was a one episode.
Oh, I see.
It was
Okay.
a one episode where Whoopi was like a con artist who accidentally stopped an assassination from happening, a senator getting shot. And Judd Nelson's like the cop that was the dirty cop that was like getting money out of extorting her. That's the word, extorting. I went to college. So in the show, it ends in a dance number, which is really, really good. So I first moved to L.A. and there was a bar in West Hollywood called Sloan's. It was on Melrose, and it was just a bar. If you had picked it up and stuck it anywhere in America, it would have been that same bar. It wasn't a club. It was not indicative of Hollywood
saloon.
or anything. It was just a saloon. Oh, sorry. And so I went in there. I had just moved to West Hollywood and had gotten my apartment. And it was the day I had gotten my key, but I hadn't gone back to the apartment and tried it on the door. Irrelevant to this point, but means something to me. So I pull into the bar slow.
Shows this memory is real to me. It's
real,
like got these
man.
weird
This is
details
real.
in there for no reason.
This ties into a John Hughes movie, by the way.
What?
See, I go everywhere. So
I love it.
I pull into the bar, I go sit at the bar, and I get a beer, and I turn, and I'm watching it. It's an NBA game. It's Orlando versus Indiana, and it's a playoff game, and Shaq was still in Orlando.
Oh.
And I turned to the guy next to me because I was still smoking cigarettes. Don't smoke, kids.
Don't smoke. Me too.
I turned to the guy next to me, can you hand me an ashtray? And it's Judd Nelson. Whoa. So I gush, but I keep it in for a minute.
Why is Judd Nelson big to you? Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club.
Or all of them?
Yeah, but Breakfast Club, and that's where this goes.
That's why I was, okay.
Yeah. So we sit down, I go, so who are you for? We chit-chat first, and I go, so who are you for? And he goes, Orlando. We chat about the sports and stuff. So then I had a fraternity brother who had spent all his life combing through libraries to find the end of the joke of he tells in Breakfast Club when he's going through the ceiling tile and then falls through. And he tells a joke, a naked blonde walks into a bar with a salami under one arm and a duck under the other. And then at some point when he tells it, he falls through. So I go,
oh, so we don't get the punchline.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
So I go, hey, what's the punchline? He goes, I didn't have one. He said that John Hughes told him to just ad-lib until he hit his mark and he'd fall through. And that's what Judd Nelson came up with. So
I love that's what you
Oh, that's
asked
even more
him.
impressive.
yeah, yeah. So Judd Nelson.
That's pretty good.
Kudos.
And that's how a bill becomes a law.
There you go. There you go. Well,
That's a good trivia point.
a little bit for you.
Gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got off of Die Hard.
So Die Hard.
Which is okay, but
we were moonlighting. So anyway, I gushed at Judd about the moonlighting thing because that was one of my all-time favorite episodes. And if you can find it, it is the...
where are they available to watch anywhere? Are they streaming anywhere? Or
I haven't seen them
YouTube?
streamed anywhere but I let my good friend... I let a friend of mine borrow them, and I had the first season on DVD.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
it was a 90-minute movie of the week that did so well that they...
The
then
PI business, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It was a moonlighting private detective
Yeah.
agency, right?
Yeah. Such a great damn show.
And
I don't think
the
I
receptionist
ever
with,
saw-
the voice.
You never saw Moonlighting?
No.
You were maybe too. I was too young really to be watching it.
Oh, you had to be too young. Yeah. Yeah.
I find that to be an irrelevant point, but I did not know that it was. I thought the movie always. Isn't there a movie?
Your age isn't
Not that I know of.
because it's not. It hasn't been anywhere streamable. I've never flipped through
Moonstruck.
Netflix or anywhere.
Oh,
and
Moonstruck
seen
with
it.
Cher, yeah.
Moonstruck,
That's what I'm
that
thinking.
was great. That was great. Nick Cage.
Yeah, that's
Danny Aiello.
It's all I can think of.
Since we're naming people.
Dukakis.
Oh wow, keep continuing. Is there anybody left?
Anyone else? Is there a sister? Mercedes Rule?
Oh, you did it.
That's
You
a good-
did
yeah,
it. Wow,
there
you did
go.
it.
There you go. Oh man, these brain cells aren't all ruined.
So because that wasn't shooting, they could do Die Hard.
they did Die Hard. Thank you for bringing. Man, Ms. Ryan brings it back to where we were. Yeah, so that's how they shot Die Hard, was because of that. So
to me, it really becomes what becomes a Christmas movie. I think by today's standards, it's more than enough to qualify. I think
Agreed.
back in 1980, when 88 you said, when it came out, it was not remotely a Christmas movie, especially on the heels of things like Christmas Vacation at the same time and other things that were legitimate Christmas movies. So I would agree with you by nature, but I feel like you can say nuclear now and not be shot on the street for being an idiot. Nuclear is a word.
Yeah.
It used to be nuclear.
yes.
Things just got saturated.
So by the standard that it seems now you're adopting of just giving in to modern society's lack of morals. And just letting all-
No, I'm saying that I feel now.
Yeah, you're giving in to the pressure of society. It's okay because it is now. Here's what is it a Christmas movie just because it takes place at Christmas? If so, then Iron Man 3 should be a holiday classic.
This is always your argument, and you made it last time. But my argument about this would be that it's not just that it takes place during Christmas.
Okay.
There's a tremendous amount of Christmas plot-wise in Die Hard.
Yeah.
There's a tremendous amount. Like it has to take
That's
place at
true.
Christmas. I mean, it's not a Christmas spirit type movie, but this heist is happening when it
Well,
happens on purpose, and it's a
right.
Christmas thing, and the cop is not with his family and Christmas. All of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's pulling at the heartstrings with Christmas. It's using Christmas as a tool.
Uh-huh.
So I believe that there's more. It's not a Christmas movie. I'm still with you there, but
Right.
it's more than just. I'd say it's more Christmas movie than Gremlins.
I wouldn't.
Really?
I said, Gremlins involves a Christmas gift. There's no real Christmas gift or
Disagree. Big Bear in the limo.
meant nothing to the characters.
So what?
Wait, there was vodka in the limo, but nobody was drinking it.
So what?
No. I don't.
There was
buy
Christmas
that.
music in the limo too.
There was also no Christmas. There was also when he's jamming to some Stevie Wonder in the limo. So there's also non-Christmas music in the limo. The limo music has nothing to do with Nakatomi or Takagi getting his brains blasted out the back of his head. That's a real good feel-good warmth of the holiday. Remind me of the virgin birth.
No.
of my Lord and
I
Savior
think
moment when
honestly, I
see
think
the
you're
head blown out.
I think maybe you're missing the whole point of Die Hard. What they're using there is the element that this is all happening during the Christmas season when everyone's guard is down. They're at a Christmas party when everyone's supposed to be relaxing and having a good time and not worried about
Right.
terrorism
Right.
or bombs or guns or anything not Christmas related.
So if the terrorist attack takes place on Good Friday, does that make it an Easter movie?
Is that what we're?
Well, I'm saying, but if they
Why
had
don't we
done
make
this on,
it? Maybe it would make it a Good Friday
Here's the thing.
movie.
If they'd done this on Good Friday, if they'd done this on Easter weekend, does it then turn Die Hard into an Easter movie? Just again, this is my point. Is just because it takes place during a holiday time does not mean it's indicative of that holiday.
Here's the difference, though. If in Die Hard they had an Easter egg hunt that they had to modify to accommodate whatever that they didn't do because it was Easter or whatever, I think it's more of an infiltration with Christmas than like just in passing.
Jaws 4, Christmas movie?
Wow, after the third one in 3D, I don't know if I made it to 4. Was 4 with Quaid or that was 3?
That was
3. 4 is Michael Caine and the original mom.
Yeah.
Really?
In,
Okay, I
in
am
Bermuda.
unaware of
In,
Mario
in
Van
Bahamas or
Peebles.
something.
No.
Oh, yeah, Mario Van Peebles, of course. Michael!
Yeah.
Because all the Jawses
How to
are
do your
on,
hair?
all the Jawses are on something right now. Like
Yes, they're on Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
A friend of mine directed the second one.
The second where Schneider shoots the thing and it blows
Well, no, the
up?
first one. That's the first one. Smile, you son of a bitch.
Well, no, but the second one. Okay, the
It's
second was the
the,
electrical thing where he bangs on it
and the
then
helicopter
Jaws,
and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's all the original cast in the original location, so it's like a continuing of the original movie.
Yeah. That's Janot. He did other stuff.
Janot Vark. He did Supergirl, and he's
Yeah.
done a tremendous amount of things. But Somewhere in Time is his favorite thing he did.
Is the fourth? Is the original Jaws a 4th of July movie?
See, I would say no, but for the same reason. But I would say, oh, there's an awful lot in there. It's certainly a summertime movie.
Yeah.
Because really,
summertime vacation,
the 4th of July
beach movie.
I mean, didn't it all take place at the 4th of July? Wasn't that
I think
the
so.
whole thing?
Maybe.
So it's the 4th of July. It's like it reflects our nation's heritage and
I don't
basically the War of 1776 and all that crap. Because it's
I think you just want to win versus actually having the discussion.
Agreed.
the main character's motivation had nothing to do with Christmas. When Bruce is, I'm sorry,
But
when John McClane is picking the glass out of his feet,
Shoot us a glass.
and he's picking it out, and he's got Al Powell on the walkie, and he goes, Al, tell all the guys at the station Merry Christmas. Doesn't happen. There's no. McClane's motivation
So-
is never. This is all about Santa and Rudolph and.
But this is my
Frosty.
point. You only want to win.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you're just talking, and you want to win this point, and that's
I'm throwing
okay.
my points out.
But you're not, they're just regurgitated points. I don't feel like they're salient. Like,
Yeah.
I feel this way points.
Right. These are the ones I've used that have worked with
I use
unintelligent
big
people in the past.
words.
Well, I hadn't done the 4th of July one. That was new. The 4th
I
of
brought
July
up
thing
Jaws.
was new. So well,
I brought up the Jaws
see,
franchise.
The conversation evolves the more.
If I
we
may,
find
I'm pretty sure
examples.
Jaws takes place over weeks, and Die Hard takes place over one night. So I don't really know if you know what I mean. Like
One of the Jawses is over Christmas. I'll just throw that out there, and I don't know which one it is.
That's the fourth one. That's what.
Oh, the fourth one.
This is
Oh, yeah.
in Bermuda or the Bahamas.
Something
Oh,
like
it's
that.
so much fun. Oh, yeah, that one's at Christmas. You should watch it and report back.
All right. Well, I'm worn out from that, but I feel
just saying.
like you are definitely not going to concede no matter what, because the truth is it lands somewhere in the middle, and I don't think you'll ever get there.
Well, but I just think that I don't find that a film's time frame, when the film is set, is indicative of.
But
the
you
type
are
of
the
film
only
it
one
is.
holding hanging a hat on that. I'm not trying to hang a hat
I
on
also
that.
hung the hat on the studio release date.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what about all of the other things? You don't acknowledge any of that? I'm acknowledging all of yours.
What am I to acknowledge that makes it a Christmas movie?
You have not yet told me what makes it a Christmas movie.
Because I don't think it is a Christmas movie.
What makes something
what
a
makes
Christmas movie?
All right, first of all, it should have something to do with the original intent of Christmas, of the religious side. It should, if it has something to do with Jesus or that.
Then I agree. It's not a Christmas movie.
That's one.
If that's your definition.
2, it should involve some sort of traditional Christmas character. A reindeer with a nose.
That kind of character.
That kind of character. A Grinch character.
But the Christmas tree and the decorations is not. It's got to have the character.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's set dressing and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in that case, I would agree. No Santa, no Rudolph, none of that.
If there's not
no
something-
Frosty.
Yeah. If
These are all like.
And then I'll
fake-
go. This is
fake
where I think the
creatures,
argument.
by the way.
Well, I think the argument the other side can make the
Loch
argument
Ness
on the
Monster.
third point, which is, fuck, I lost my point.
Yeah.
Wow, I almost went there. I can't remember where I was going.
No Rudolph, no Santa.
No Rudolph, no Santa, and then. If the characters are motivated by Christmas, and I guess this is where we talk about, I don't necessarily feel like these characters are motivated by.
But the whole reason that he's there is
Right.
because of Christmas.
No, he's there for his family that he loves. He loves his family whether it's Christmas or not.
The party, right?
That's not true. Of course, he loves his family, but that's not what the movie's about. It's not about a guy in New York who
The
loves his family.
timing of
This
him
movie
coming-
is about a guy who flies to New York, flies to Los Angeles to see his family for
Right.
Christmas,
Right.
with a gift and a whole thing, and they're
Right.
pulling at the heartstrings because it's Christmas time, and oh my God, she changed her name, and oh my God, she's got this new life and a new job and the whole new thing, and it's amazing, and he's still this fucking alcoholic
Right,
shithead.
but all the new job and everything had nothing to do with Christmas.
You're not listening to me. They're using Christmas as a fulcrum to pull at the heartstrings. They're doing it at Christmas on purpose.
Could have been Valentine's Day. They could have done
Disagree.
This. Why? You mean why?
Who gives a fuck? People care about Christmas.
Right?
Yeah.
People give a Easter.
No.
They chose Christmas on purpose.
Christmas
So for you
worked.
to discount that completely, I feel is disrespectful on your part as the viewer.
Okay.
From the filmmaker's original intention. Who was it? Joel Schumacher? Who I can't remember who did it.
No,
is it
it wasn't Schumacher.
Is it the guy in Venice? Oh, McTiernan. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's why it was
Hunt
good.
for Red October as
That's
well.
why it was good. Yeah.
It was excellent.
It was really good.
And again, this all comes from
Nothing
not from
against
my
Rennie
disdain.
Harlan.
Well, nothing against, but I am a diehard worshiper. I will watch it
we know.
anytime. And one of my other points was I was flipping around and on TBS on January 18th of this year. Guess what was on?
Die Hard.
Right. Most TV networks don't run Christmas movies 3 weeks after Christmas. Am I right? They don't. Find me Love Actually. Or
You're
what was
trying
it,
to black and white this thing when there isn't one.
I have standard. Again, black and white means I have standards and rules.
Sure.
And
so I've heard two so
man of
far
principles.
that is not nearly enough for me to agree with. I agree with those two, and
The
I'm saying
book.
that based
All right,
on
how
those
about
two, I agree it's not a Christmas
5.
movie.
The book. It was based off a book that had nothing to do with Christmas.
Now, this is new information to me.
Yeah. So there's a book.
And the thing that the building and the blow up and all that, it doesn't take place.
It was more about just a guy who was a cop. And and that was it. And I think it was like actually the second or third in a series about this guy. I may be wrong.
You're making my point, not yours for me, by the way.
Which is?
Making it more of a Christmas movie because it was specifically created to do. It was not part of the story. It was manufactured to tell the story.
I haven't read the book. I don't know.
Well, you said it's not part of the book.
Well, I'm guessing here.
Oh, now to make
I'm guessing here.
See.
But I don't
Losing
remember
all
anything
credibility
about-
in front of everybody.
Someone
guess.
out there with the Google machine will get on it and look up that it was based on a book. And I may be wrong, but I actually
I
think
believe you.
They were actually considering Sinatra for this role. It was just one of those things that stuck in development for so long that I think probably somebody at Fox went, here.
The story
this
is not
has been
great.
around."
It could have been from the the Inferno days, whatever. The story is
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
and you know what I mean. You could redo it today.
Correct.
And they
Correct.
probably have.
It was a star-driven movie, wouldn't you say?
action.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it was star driven. I just feel like you put a guy with a terrorist in a building and a bunch of guns and shoots the glass, and I mean it's interesting.
She's offensive. Love that movie. Yeah.
So it really comes down to what one believes. My belief is that it was not a Christmas movie when it came out. By today's standards and the saturation of the world, it is now.
If it was such a true Christmas movie, why don't they run Die Hard?
Say true Christmas movie.
Such.
I'm not
I said
saying
such.
Oh,
Such a
I
Christmas
see.
movie. If it is such a Christmas movie, and Die Hard 2 is no damn different than that one, why don't?
No, it's maybe more so.
Right, why don't they run Die Hard 2 as the Christmas movie along with one?
You have
Why
the
does
answer
it
to
get
that.
short
You
shrift?
have the answer to this. How often do you see the second one?
It's got JJ's dad in it.
I assure it.
It's got Sipowicz
it does.
in it.
It does. I have to assume it's a far cheaper buy for a network to run Die Hard 2 than Die Hard 1. It is
You
not
think?
nearly as good a movie,
But
in
then
my opinion.
Hey,
No offense, Rennie Harlan.
True. It's not that different.
Oh, God.
But wait, it takes place at Christmas. It's just about a guy getting to see his family. The whole point of you saying that what makes Die Hard a Christmas legend is the same simplistic
Nobody
point that
said
makes
Christmas
the first-
legend. You keep you're doing this on purpose, and everyone can see it.
I'm just saying the obvious.
You're doing a good publicist job of expanding your own point.
Yes.
But that's what we did in our previous lives.
true.
So now the new thing is to live and listen and to think emotionally. And emotionally speaking, I would say this movie, Die Hard, is a Christmas movie. But blowing up the facts, I would say you might be right. But emotionally speaking, as a married gal, yo, here's the deal. There's only so many movies with Rudolph that like I have any interest in. One of them, my mom went into labor with me with, so like, I'm already like torn.
Wow.
Yeah, so as an adult, like want to watch a Christmas movie, like I would put that on the list for sure.
I mean, I don't remember a Santa Claus or a Frosty in It's a Wonderful Life or anything like that either.
Agreed.
You know what I
That's
mean?
where I was going with It's a Wonderful Life. In the sense, the motivation of the character. That's where I was going. The motivation
George?
of the characters was to save the town for the spirit. There was a spirit of community that drove them to do what they were doing.
Who?
The
town.
The town or whatever, to save the whatever.
I disagree. This movie was about George and overcoming his own demons.
Okay. But
Which is what it was about John McClane, overcoming his demons.
And those demons involve Christmas?
No, the story was just taking place during that time. I'm saying if you're drawing, but that's my point. So It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas movie or no?
Well, no, because and
to me, it's very similar in this regard now. Because the Wonderful Life is not about Christmas. It just happens to take place during Christmas. It's about a guy who's down on his luck who's about to commit suicide.
All I know about It's a Wonderful Life is from the Saturday Night Live sketch with Dennis Miller. I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, but there's a sketch with Dennis Miller, and they all...
He's serious.
I'm dead serious.
He's serious.
It was, 86 or 7. I've never seen all of Wonderful Life. And they shot the sketch in black and white. Oh, I can't remember the year it was, but it was like...
Who was in it?
It's
Dennis Miller.
I don't care.
Lovitz was the mean old guy in the chair. I just remember them all going in there, and the joke was they all beat out of Lovitz, which is great to watch at any time. I love John Lovitz. John Lovitz is one of the few people I've ever not wanted to meet, even though I've been places, because I don't want to break that like the glass. I don't want to break the glass screen. I always want to see him as one of my favorite people that make me laugh. Not that there's anything good or bad about him, but let's keep some people where they are, and that's Lovitz to me. I love John Lovitz.
Macaroni and cheese. We got to make this. Yeah. That's all I always think of.
I loved him.
Hey, hold on to a sugar-o.
I think of that and the League of Their Own bit where he's like,
forgot about League of Their Own.
Leash. Yeah,
he's so funny. Give the wife a little pickle tickle and I'm on my way.
Holy cow, great. That is so funny. I forgot about all that.
He was in Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg.
Really?
See, it's funny. When you said Whoopi back then, I almost said, during the Jumpin' Jack Flash days. I remember that movie. I love that movie.
That was a good one.
There was two she did in the 80s that were about the same time, and Jumpin' Jack Flash and Burglar was the other. Jumpin' Jack Flash I thought was great. Burglar I thought was rough.
Little not as good.
Well, one was good and one was made for everybody.
Yes. Was Jumpin' Jack Flash the one with Jim Belushi?
No. But that's a different one, I think, even still.
Altogether.
I think so. But there was the Jumpin' Jack Flash was the one where she's working at the place and she gets the thing on her thing and she's like, holy it's like a I don't know, maybe an espionage type movie.
It was.
You know, if that's the right word.
I may be totally off my
It's like the Net before the Net almost.
It was. But was Alec Baldwin the voice?
You're on the right. I don't remember because I haven't seen this in 20-something years, but something like that could be.
And the other thing was there was a music
and it would have been
video.
Beetlejuice, Alec Baldwin at the time. You know, he wasn't doing other things.
And there was a music video with Aretha Franklin where she covers Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Wow.
Yeah. That they put out for the movie.
Look at you.
So she covers Rolling Stones. Is it Rolling Stones who did
Aretha,
that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy pants.
So there you go.
Crazy song.
All right, I feel like we've die-harded out only because
we have.
It's somewhere in the middle. Is what I believe.
You've countered my points. I think we've had a fascinating argument, and I think what the viewers at home should do is go to the comment section on YouTube, leave your beliefs that I'm insane or wrong, or agree with me. Shouldn't America?
I'd be curious to hear.
And other international markets, go on your YouTube thing and just start going yes or no.
Absolutely.
Share your favorite memes. I think you can post memes. Can they do memes?
I really appreciate you saying all this stuff because I don't say it ever, and I don't know how to.
Hit the millennial. I skew a young demo. I want.
But you really do too.
The kids are getting involved with the media. That's what we do now.
Speaking of the kids, I want to cover something of some sort of like I don't know, cultural significance or importance while you're here instead of just Die Hard. Okay. You did a family trip recently, and you did a bunch of stuff, but what I really would like to at least make sure we cover is Smithsonian. Because to me, that's a place of wonder for the same reason that look around here. Like, I like old, interesting things.
You're in my wheelhouse. We went to the Smithsonian Air and Space. Took my daughter. She's 11. So it was fun for her. She enjoyed everything. We went to the Air and Space, the natural history, the American history.
You're hitting all the good ones.
Art. We did the Spy Museum.
Ooh,
that's the one that you have to pay. It's not a Smithsonian thing, but it's really cool, especially if you're a Bond villain freak, because they have the whole like exhibit dedicated to Bond villains.
No kidding,
really cool.
From Dr. No to Spectre.
Every single damn one gets their own little thing. It's really
Thunderball and Goldfinger and all those guys. It's so cool.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, even the one guy that did that one.
George Lazenby.
George Lazenby. Very good.
Yeah.
So we did that. We went to the Lincoln, Jefferson.
So
Washington,
in the American History Museum, this is what I used to love as a kid because where we're sitting is significant. They used to have Archie Bunker's chair and stuff. Do they still have that?
If it was there, I may have not seen it.
I'm sure everything. This is when I was a kid, 30-something years ago, probably. So, but they have stuff like that still.
A few things like
Ruby
that.
slippers and Indiana Jones jacket.
Yeah, we didn't.
That stuff's not even significant anymore, I'm wondering.
Well, there was a lot of really interesting things. They had like what the home looked like throughout the decades, and they had like different commercial products and stuff like that. If it was in there, we may just not have gotten to it. But they had a lot of pop culture.
There is a place, and I think it's that one where they have stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
like the original, perfect,
Yeah.
and the original R2D2 stuff like that's in there.
We hit the Air and Space Museum.
I'm asking for a specific reason, because if Letterman doesn't end up wanting the microphone back, then maybe that's another
a good
option.
idea.
Or it goes with the set, and then the whole set goes there someday. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Good deal.
Oh, the Air and Space Museum. We went to the planetarium, and I saw the Neil deGrasse Tyson thing on the planetarium
In the dome, yeah.
I love planetariums.
Is it Hayden Planetarium? No, that's in New York. Which one is the planetarium?
It's just in the Air and Space Museum. It's the one inside the museum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like when you're walking around the Air and Space Museum.
Literally on the second floor in the middle. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So I go in, and I learned. And do you know anything about space?
I went to space camp.
You went to space camp, so you know how to get to space. Yeah. But you know anything about like
a little bit?
Once you get out there, here's what I learned: is that space is so big. We have no idea how big it is.
None.
We also won't know how big it is for another.
You are one of those
years.
people who needs answers, huh? You don't like to not know stuff. I don't think you'll
I was
ever
fascinated.
know. I don't think you'll ever know the answer. I don't think there is an answer.
I think we know. Neil told us.
It's constantly expanding.
It's what he said. That means it's big.
Yes, it is big.
It's so big we don't know how big.
But that amazes you versus just being the normal.
No. That's pretty much what I expected. Oh. I mean, I'm watching it.
You do speak with an enthusiasm that sounds like I'm just amazed by things.
Well, people are excited by space. You should see my kid.
I love
she was
space.
Loving this.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, space is big.
Did they show all the planet like a thing?
You're flying through space.
Yeah.
What was specific about the Neil deGrasse one? Because he's wonderful to listen to.
Yeah. Well, what's specific is it's big. It's really big. Well, they showed the visuals. It's really, again, it's planetarium. It's more about the visuals than really giving you stats and numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's what I mean. So but what was the experience there? You say you do these every time. So what was the Neil deGrasse one? Why was it different? Why was it so good? Or was it just any other experience but hosted by him?
No, I mean it was really good. The visuals were really good, and it's him, and they go into a lot more specifics on how it is. But to wrap it up for a show of your length, I just wanted to say that space is big. I could have gone into details.
Neil deGrasse's enthusiasm also I find quite infectious. And when he does get excited about something and speaks in the way that you are about it, it's almost impossible not to.
He makes it exciting to listen and learn, and that's rare. So
that's why I was curious if there was anything different about this one, or other than space is big. That's what we want to.
Well, I mean, no, I mean it's planetarium. It may be the exact same thing.
How big is the planetarium there?
It's that big.
Okie doke.
That's about average, right?
In terms of measurements, I don't remember. Like I got in a big chair, I laid back, and then 30 minutes later, that was over.
It's hard to measure too because it's a circle, so you can't even do count the rows.
Like it's big. And the weird thing about planetarium chairs is you kind of still have to look like this part of the time.
Did you ever see the movie K-Pax?
No.
It's
Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Never saw it.
Yeah. I highly recommend it to people.
Okay.
I find it fascinating. And you're a person. So you qualify for this recommendation. It's one of those movies that makes you, I don't know, maybe it's a litmus test actually, because it either makes you think or you think it's dumb.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that you might really dig it.
Haley Joel Osment in it?
No, that's pay it forward. This one's more recent, but not recent at all. I would say maybe early, mid-2000s. Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Supposedly. It's a guy, a human, a parent human, who, and it's Kevin Spacey, and he goes to, he gets picked up in New York for something he didn't do wrong and whatever, but he ends up having to go to like a Bellevue-type facility. Okay. And the doctor there is Starman, the dude.
Jeff
Bridges.
Okay.
So it's kind of neat. We've got Starman flipped a little bit because he's now looking at the Starman. And the movie is sort of being about like, is this guy for real or is he not? Because he thinks he's an alien, but he could just be nuts. Like nobody knows. Maybe it's all the same thing. Maybe who knows? Yeah. So it's kind of a movie about having that discussion, and he's having it while he's, his family's involved and other colleagues involved, and then this guy's talking about space, so he ends up getting like scientists involved and stuff. It's very interesting.
Okay.
But there's a planetarium scene, and I
There
bet
you
you'd
go.
love it.
And there aren't a lot of planetarium scenes in
All right,
movies.
that's
You're
why
right.
I was bringing it up. And
Okay,
it's usually
yeah.
romantic, whereas this one is actually like very, very interesting. And it's sort of like, oh, it sells this guy's point. You know what I mean? It makes you think.
Not to take this show down, bring it down a notch, but the reason I love planetariums, my mother sang opera, and in of all places, Mississippi, growing up, big hotbed for opera.
I would imagine.
But there was like a new. This is like maybe '83, a new opera that had been written that came out of New York called "Help Help the Globalinks."
Help the Globe Links?
Globalinks.
Globalinks.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was a German originally or not, but they did it in a planetarium in Mississippi.
They did an opera in a planetarium?
In a planetarium. They put a stage in one area, and they used all the lighting. Yeah.
I'm trying to think
You're
of
from a weird
acoustically,
place.
though. It's probably
Very
a neat
weird.
thing.
Yeah. Well, but artsly weird. I mean, it's not like we did, Pearl, Mississippi, they didn't have a planetarium.
You are an interesting fellow. No. I mean that in a compliment because we're talking about these things, but yet when I talk to you out there or whatever, like the things you talk about in between the things you talk about are interesting.
Yeah.
We're like already almost out of time, but is there anything that you want to cover? Because this was sort of like just sort of fun and catching up and just hanging out.
I haven't given my college football season preview yet. I thought that was...
And the
Should I
Marvel...
come back for that, or you may just do it now?
Also, I'd like an update on Star Wars Land and Marvel Universe.
Did you see Solo? Dude, Solo was awesome. It's the best Star Wars since Star Wars.
Yay.
You've seen the Star Warses, though, right? You never seen the Star Wars? Did you like the Star Wars? You did not like the Star Wars?
I like what...
Did you know
I like
before
what
you
the
married?
movies are saying. I like what the movies are saying about people and...
But like the original Star Wars, the first Star
I have
Wars
no interest in that type of storytelling. I like the stories they're telling.
Yeah.
In the, this side versus that side and the reasons and all
Sure.
that. But I don't need space. Pew, pew. Not for me.
But you didn't like the whole Han Solo thing? Like you didn't find him with the vest?
I have no problem with any of it. I'm not one of those people who doesn't like Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. I'm just indifferent. It doesn't affect me. I didn't see it when I was little,
Okay,
so
fair.
it didn't get me.
Fine.
And then the 90s ones. Holy shit balls.
Yeah, those were totes.
Pass,
I agree.
pass.
Those don't register.
No, I agreed.
don't.
I'm not judging with.
No.
I'm not painting with the same
Okay.
brush.
I'm fascinated. You didn't gravitate to the Star Wars.
And-
Trek? Do you like Trek?
No. Although
He's
I did watch the next gen a little
cerebral,
bit
like,
here and there.
thinker guy. So like movies like K-Pax that he can like ruminate on for
Yeah.
hours.
The Star Trek though was very cerebral. I mean, Gene Roddenberry.
I like Star Trek. I like the fundamentals of Star Trek
Right.
because they're going around studying and helping. And how about Trek versus Wars? You see what I'm saying there? I'm in.
Yeah.
You know who you need for that. You
No.
know
I'm
Yeah.
saying like I'm into anything that's a trek and an adventure versus a goddamn war.
Oh, I see what you mean. Just the simplest of the terms, not discussing the two films. Okay. Oh, yeah.
The meanings of the terms.
Gotcha.
The emotional sentiment.
Fair enough.
I'm an emotional fella.
It sounds like you make love, not war.
Well, I'm open to anything. I mean, there's times for everything. I understand why things need to happen, and things aren't always perfect. I mean, I'm not like a hippie freak of like
No.
only. But yet I am.
Although
at my
you're all
core,
tatted out, I mean,
a couple.
Okay.
But as a fundamental, if you can solve it with conversation or
Yeah.
with communication, I believe that is the way to
a
go.
verbal trek as opposed to a verbal war.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then.
Or any kind of trek as opposed to whatever. But a verbal war versus a star war,
Yes.
absolutely.
Fine.
But yes, Han Solo, he's cool. He's fucking very cool. He's got that
That's fine.
vest and he's the big
When we
dog.
talk about movies, and like the Solo was really good. It really was. It surprised the shit out of me. I'll be honest. It was really good.
I think it surprised them a little bit that you're the only one who saw it.
But because they marketed, but here's the thing: they marketed it as Solo. They should have marketed it as Han and Chewie. It's as much as it's really like their backstory, and it worked. It really did.
So it's a buddy cop movie.
Sorta. Paul Bettany's in it. He's great. Good bad guy.
Paul Bettany is good. Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie?
No.
I agree, but it's just as much Christmas, maybe even more in that one.
Well, but you know Shane Black's thing of putting a Christmas tree in every movie, right?
No, I don't remember.
Oh yeah. Like,
Or maybe I think you might have even said this last time,
directors
but I
do
don't
that.
remember.
Shane Black puts a Christmas tree in every movie. Sam Raimi puts a Buick in every movie of his. Like,
There is a sequel. I can't remember which one that I would call a Christmas movie because it is much more Christmas. Like they're at the house protecting the family and the whole bit. You remember all that?
yeah. Well, there's 4. They've made a bunch of sequels.
Yeah. No. I mean, there's one though that's like really Christmassy. Am I making that up, or is it the first one?
It's the first one because the house is under construction during Christmas, and I think that was the first one.
I almost swallowed a bug.
First or second, but you're right.
But I remembered. I realized. Can I tell you something? I'm painting that with a different. It's me. His wife is Darlene Love.
Yes.
Who is Miss Paul Schaefer, Christmas, Letterman, Christmas.
Yeah.
Please, baby, Christmas, please, baby, come home, or whatever it is.
Baby, please come home.
Yeah, originally, yeah. The original Phil Spector recording. Look at you. So I think you're right. Maybe that's what I'm associating.
Random stuff.
Randomly.
You always did.
Oh, okay, my college football picks, because I know that.
All right, yeah, get them out quick, because nobody cares.
So, here we go. So, where's Hal? Can we get a close-up on this, Hal?
Okay. What is that?
So this is my official Alabama national championship phone case.
Nerd.
How did you get that? That's 17 national championships. 17, America. About to be 18.
And Greta Van Fleet.
And my watch also has the A on it for Alabama.
I saw that. I didn't know what it was for.
It's not my monogram, but or the Atlanta Braves.
That's what I thought. Or the Angels. I thought from here.
So yeah.
So you have football picks, even though you were a cheerleader?
Alabama's number one. Okay. I was a football cheerleader.
You were something, right? Cheerleading?
For football.
Cool. All right, your football picks.
Look,
go.
Hockey goon. I don't want to say we're not doing
I am a hockey goon.
I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so Alabama number 1, Clemson 2nd, Georgia 3rd, and Alabama wins it all. Those are my picks. There you go. Take it to the bank.
All right.
And that has been...
There you go. I just want to add a little sports again. So now when you tag this, you can tag college football preview.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to even spell it.
When you tag it, you'll tag that, I'm sure.
I will.
I literally wouldn't know what to. If you write me the things, I'll put them all in. Yeah. I don't mind doing the work. I just do not know.
2 O's in football.
Okay.
That's all.
I see.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Tomorrow, this is our last show. Oh my gosh. It's Friday for us, for the show wise. Tomorrow is Breakfast Club. Saturday, Auto Kennel Lag. You should come out to that. It's really fun. It's at Auto Kennel down in Orange County.
Okay.
I was talking to them, but you should come if you want.
Do I have to have a Porsche?
No, I think it's all different fun cars. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. I think the Lamborghini's on their layout.
I'm driving the Impala right now, or a Malibu.
You could probably park it around the corner, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, you should come out. It's going to be really fun, and Paul was here the other day talking about it. Next week, we've got Porsche's on Instagram. Porsche's. Andrew Florin is going to be here, and then Arlene Getman and Elizabeth Karen and a bunch of cool stuff, and hopefully more updates on Late Show 25.
Cool.
We will see about that. But that's it, Mrs. Ryan. I love you so much. You, sir.
Thank you, guys.
I love you, too. You're
Come
a
back
riot.
anytime.
You have
anytime. Let me know. We'll do more rehearsed bits next time.
Plenty of energy. Not worried about that.
My favorite nerd.
And we love you at home. We will see you next week.
Next week.
Holy crap. Lots of stuff going on. See you next week. Love ya.
Awesome. Fun show, guys. That was fun. We didn't even get into talking about other shit.
I'll bet your girlfriend's real before I'll put her.
I can't believe. I don't know if she's real.
Dude, she's 29.